At an observatory, an astronomer was alerted of an incoming asteroid, but when he was about to calculate its trajectory, another anomaly quickly flies past it and headed straight for Earth, to which he suspects must be a UFO. It quickly flies into Grandview, known to be home of the famous Goody Gum. The astronomer follows the said UFO to the crash site, where he suddenly screams in horror. Many years ago, young Porky Pig and Daffy Duck was at the mercy of a hungry pack of wolves when they are rescued by Farmer Jim, who was passing by. Unlike the behaved Porky Pig, Daffy Duck always finds himself in mischief and gets Porky involved, to which the two have been inseparable since then. One time, when Porky gets bullied at school, Daffy concocts a trap for the bully to get back at him. Before Farmer Jim left them, he reminded them that although the world can be a cruel place, they'll brave through it if they stick together. He then tells them to take care of their home, bequeathing it all to them. Years have passed, and Daffy and Porky still live in the house Farmer Jim left to them. Porky realizes that today is the annual Home Standards Review, where an inspection is done to check if their house is living up to community standards. To prepare for the inspector, they go through the checklist to ensure that everything meets the standard. They spend the day making sure the grass is still green, covering holes in the floor, emptying the gutters, cleaning the yard, and even maintaining the sidewalks so that there's no cracks. Although Daffy feels confident they will ace through the inspection, Porky doesn't share his confidence. As soon as the inspector arrives, she quickly finds a giant hole in their roof, which was made by the UFO as it flew past through their home and crashed nearby. She explains that their roof is a code violation, to which she gives them 10 days to have a working roof, or their property will be condemned, seized by the authorities, and demolished. Worried about losing their home, Daffy insists on investigating it when he finds a mysterious goo where the hole is. Porky claims that it must be because of the termite problem they have. Daffy suspected it was an interdimensional ectoplasm, but Porky convinces him otherwise, claiming it could be the result of a mold infestation they also have. They quickly break the piggy bank, hoping to pay for roof repairs, but even the repairman turns them down, claiming it isn't nearly enough. When Daffy starts to panic, Porky suggests they get a job. Daffy worries that they have not worked before, but Porky reassures him that this would be the good time to start and learn more about responsibility and hard work. Daffy and Porky started out as newspaper boys, but Daffy messed that up when he pulls out his contraption that continuously fire newspaper, hitting civilians in the way. When they worked at a coffee shop, Daffy gets furious when one customer had very specific instructions for her order, which led them to get fired for talking back to a customer. They also tried starting a riding agency. A client was late for his flight and had to ask them to get up on the landing gear, but when he fell, they quickly got fired. No matter what they do, they keep getting fired at every job, whether it was plumbing, painting, moving, babysitting, shoe shining, or mailmen. When they tried being influencers, their video gets taken down and their account has been banned for indecent content. Later that night, Porky worries that they'll lose the house, but Daffy reassures him that everything will work out, optimistic that the right opportunity would soon find them. While Daffy goes over his ideas, Porky gets distracted when Petunia Pig walks into the diner, and he was quickly smitten by her. Porky wonders if she is walking it to just have coffee, but Petunia explains that she's sampling the coffee and claims she is a scientist at the nearby gum factory. Porky wonders if she was then responsible for the new flavor that everyone's been talking about. Petunia denies having any involvement in the newest Super Strongberry, claiming that it's the same old flavor, except it was repackaged with the word strong in front of it. She declares that she is on a quest to make the world's most perfect flavor and claims that she is close to making it. She wonders if the coffee is the missing ingredient, to which she quickly makes gum out of it and gives it to Daffy for taste test. Just when he thought it was great, Daffy exploded, which Petunia claims is her goal, to create a flavor explosion. When she asks where they work, Daffy explains that they keep getting fired at their jobs, but before he could finish, Porky interrupts and states they are in the middle of a career change, worried about appearances. Petunia claims that it would be nice to have like-minded people at the factory and states that they are hiring extra workers for the rollout of their new flavored gum. The next day, Daffy and Porky follow Petunia's advice and applies for work at the factory. They nearly got fired again when Daffy nearly smashed the lever when he was supposed to just pull them. After completing an entire shift, Porky runs to the break room when he sees Petunia pass by. Despite her colleagues make fun of her, Petunia refuses to bring herself down. Porky approaches Petunia, and he was surprised to discover she also shares his quirk behavior of stuttering her words when nervous. Porky claims that he stutters even when he's not nervous. Meanwhile, Daffy wanted to meet the other employees when he runs into the astronomer from the observatory who is acting bizarrely. Daffy grows suspicious when he finds the man is carrying a suitcase that is leaking goo that he suspects is the same one he found on the roof of their house. The man then walks up to a mixing tank and empties his suitcase of alien goo to the mixture. When Daffy follows him to the roof, the man disappeared, leaving behind his tape recorder of when he suspected a UFO came to Earth. Little did he know that the man was beamed up into a spaceship to report back to his master, claiming that it is time to proceed with the next phase of their plan. He plans on using his gum to turn people into mindless servants and bow to him as their master. Later, these tainted batch of gums are delivered to stores across the city, to which the mayor is excited in throwing the new flavor celebration at City Hall. When Porky was about to ask Petunia to the kickoff celebration, Daffy interrupts them and claims that there's strange things happening at the factory. When asked what he meant, Daffy claims that the goo he found at the house is there, to which Porky quickly covers his mouth and drags him away, worried they would look crazy to the others. Porky scolds Daffy, claiming that these conspiracy theories of him will get them in trouble, to which it will get them fired, so he tells him to walk it off. Trying to calm down, Daffy goes for a walk when he witnesses people turn into mindless zombies after eating the new flavored gum. When he checks an infected girl, he was horrified to find an eye in her mouth, to which he wrestles to pull it out. The alien worries that Daffy would ruin his plans, but when Daffy started acting crazy trying to warn people, the alien felt relieved, claiming that no one will believe him. When he can't get the gum off him, Daffy plucked all his feathers and runs towards City Hall, butt naked, trying to stop the mayor from endorsing the new gum. When Porky hears people talking about a naked duck at City Hall, he quickly realizes it was Daffy and runs up to stop him. Daffy declares that the gum takes over the people's mind, but when they wouldn't believe him, Daffy mistook the mayor to be one of the mindless zombies. He then jumps the president, pull his eyebrows, and pull out his pants, embarrassing him in front of everyone. In a fit of rage, the mayor has Daffy thrown into prison, where Porky had to use their roof savings to bail him out. Tired of all the crazy talk, Porky decides to prove Daffy he is wrong by buying one of these so-called evil gums Daffy has been spouting about. Daffy tries to stop him, to which they accidentally bump into Petunia. Daffy asks Petunia's help in determining what's wrong with the gum, given she is an expert in the field. They later return to Petunia's house to analyze the gum using her state-of-the-art flavor testing equipment. She could determine if the gum was compromised. When nothing happens, the astronomer is alerted of Daffy and the others investigating the gum that he reports back to his master. The alien worries that Daffy bringing his friends into the conspiracy would ruin his plans, so he decided to eliminate them by turning the gum into a giant monster. Petunia fends it off with a blowtorch, to which Porky then throws a concoction at it that caused it to explode. Daffy drags them outside, tired from all this, when they discover the entire neighborhood has been turned into zombie slaves, infecting others by offering the new flavored gum. Worried that the whole world has already been taken over, Porky gets flashbacks of when Farmer Jim left the house in their care. Porky convinces them that they need to fight back, but when they were figuring out how, they came upon Petunia's rotten egg extract that forced Daffy and Porky to spit out what they were eating. When they were about to go out to save everyone, Porky tricks Daffy into staying behind, claiming that they need him to lay some eggs, worried he would mess everything up again. Porky and Petunia then go out to save the town, but when the alien discovers what they were planning, he turned those who are infected to attack them. Despite their overwhelming numbers, Porky and Petunia outsmarts the enemy and goes block to block and clean them out. After a quick snooze, Daffy got tired of being sidelined and interrupts Porky and Petunia when they were having a moment. Just like your typical Daffy, he messes everything up again when he breaks the sprayer and the blowtorch, giving the enemy the advantage again. Defenseless, Daffy and the others are forced to flee and gets cornered in an alley. They escape to the roof, but the mindless zombies quickly catch up to them. Daffy gets across to the other building, but when the pole he used drops, he tells Porky to jump. Porky doubts that Daffy would catch him, but Petunia pushes him off the ledge, to which he lands on top of Daffy. Petunia jumps after him, but when she was about to reach the other side, the enemy pulls her back and captures her, to which they turn her into one of them. Chased all over town, Daffy and Porky run back home, but even then, the mindless zombies don't stop. They try to fend them off, but quickly gets captured in the end. They could only watch in horror as the aliens destroy the home that Farmer Jim left for them. Just when they thought it couldn't get worse, they get beamed up into the spaceship to meet the mastermind behind it all. Daffy starts spouting about how he can do anything to them, but they would never submit to his tyranny. Porky gets tired and tells Daffy to shut up, claiming that he always makes things worse. Daffy blames him for taking his time to jump, but Porky argues that everything would have worked out fine if he stayed in the house laying eggs. Daffy points out how difficult it is for a male duck to lay eggs and claims he wanted to have fun too. Porky claims that when he's around, it's not fun, and it always turns into a disaster. Tired of their bickering, the alien then throws them both in a cage while he carries out the rest of his plan. He then orders everyone to blow the gum into a balloon that flew into the air that converged to encase the entire planet. Witnessing the planet trapped inside a giant chewing gum, Daffy and Porky blame themselves for what happened. As they were crying their eyes out, their tears shorted out the laser bars that kept them inside the cage when the platform entirely drops, and they walk on a rolling coin towards the alien that flattened it. Petunia and the astronomer break free from the mind-controlling gum. Before Porky and Petunia could talk about being reunited, Daffy tells them to focus on the giant bubblegum that's trapped Earth. When they were figuring out what to do, the computer suddenly suggested pressing the button if they would like to stop the pressurization. Out of nowhere, a giant needle comes out and pops the bubble, which shocked the world as bubblegum rains down from the sky. The alien gets back up and furious at them for ruining their plan. Daffy claims that they are ready to face an alien threat that plans on conquering Earth, but the alien argues that he wasn't trying to conquer them but save them instead. When asked what he meant, an alarm goes off of an incoming giant asteroid known to be a planet killer. The alien explains how he planned on creating a giant bubble around the planet that will simply bounce off the incoming asteroid. Now that's no longer an option. The astronomer suggests blowing it up after discovering a pocket in the asteroid to which they could beam inside and plant explosives. The alien explains he doesn't have explosives or lasers that can destroy the asteroid. Porky suddenly has an idea and asks Petunia to make more of her explosive gum. When they worry about chewing the gum, the alien shows them hundreds of wind-up novelty teeth. After making their way into the core of the asteroid, Daffy starts to doubt himself, worried that he will mess it up again, and suggests Petunia go in his stead while he works the lever. With Petunia planting the gums, Porky will set up the novelty teeth to activate it. As it slowly approaches the gums, one of the novelty teeth trips that cause a chain reaction to the others beside it. Worried that they no longer have time, Porky suggests that Daffy do it, claiming that only he can finish the job despite the concerned and doubtful looks from everyone else. That said, Daffy follows Porky's advice and quickly starts hammering the place. Everyone worries that Daffy is breaking the novelty teeth, but Porky was waiting for him to have the cave collapse as stalactite fall to the ground, chewing the gum. With only minutes left to impact, Daffy, Porky, and Petunia quickly run outside where they will be beamed to safety. As they are fleeing, Daffy nearly gets hit by a stalactite when he stepped back to dodge it, but his actions caused him to back against the wall and stuck to the sticky gum. Porky returns to get Daffy, but when he can't pull him off the gum, he decides to stay behind. He reminds him of Farmer Jim's last words that as long as they stick together, they'll be all right. Worried that they'd get caught in the explosion, the alien drives the spaceship to a safe distance when the asteroid suddenly explodes. The spaceship lands on Earth, where they are received as heroes that saved Earth. Just when they thought the alien wanted to harm them, he invites everyone to the nearest tea house and treats them to babas. Just when everyone celebrates the world being saved, the astronomer points out to a falling object headed towards them. When they looked closer, they were surprised it was a giant piece of stalactite where Daffy and Porky are stuck onto. Petunia runs towards them and welcomes Porky with a kiss. A kid tried the gum stuck on it and declared that it was the best thing he ever had. Petunia checks it out and discovers that the missing ingredient she needed was asteroid crystals, declaring to have created the perfect flavor. Although they return as heroes, they feel down having failed to save the house Farmer Jim left them. Suddenly, Farmer Jim shows up in the clouds and expresses how proud of them he is for sticking together and stepping up when the world needed them. When Porky worries that they no longer have a home, Farmer Jim claims that it was good he saved the family picture, which reveals to be a home insurance policy inside it under their names, amounting to a total of $5 million. Later, Gretch went to check the house as promised, but was surprised to find a mansion was built instead, to which Astronomer, the alien, and Petunia moved into. Her head blew up when her plans to kick them out of the neighborhood goes up in flames. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.